Marahay na aldaw sa gabos niya tumaparantabay magandang araw pong muli. Ito po ang programang Tubig at mga Mineral, sagot sa kalusugan. At syempre po, mas mga oras na ito hanggang sa susunod na hanggang alas 5:30 tayo po magsama-sama para sa isa na naman presentasyon ng palatuntunan Tubig at mga Mineral, sagot sa kalusugan. Ang programang Tubig at mga Mineral napapakinggan po tuwing araw ng Sabado, alas 4 hanggang alas 5:30 ng hapon, at tayo rin po ay napakinggan simulcast sa mga sumusunod na radio stations sa 100.7 DWKM FM Naga at sa 100.7 DWKM Goa. At ganun din, syempre sa 97.5 DCOK. At sa ating pong words of wisdom, bago po ang ating palatuntunan, sa ating words of wisdom for the day, the most difficult journey is often the most rewarding one. Yan po ang ating binibigyan ng diin ngayon. Huwag po tayong matakot na magkaroon ng mga activities na medyo mahirap kasi yung result po niyan ang talaga namang napakaganda rin, napaka-rewarding. Okay? So, sa ating pong mga kababayan, muli ang ating pong palatuntunan ay may layunin na minsan pa may pakilala ang ating pong produkto. Ionique CMD. At syempre po, ang Tubig at mga Mineral, sagot sa kalusugan, ang mineral supplement ng Pinoy for 10 years. At dito po, binibigyan daan po natin ang dalawa sa pinaka-importanteng essential nutrients, ang water and minerals. Syempre po, sa ating mga binibigyan pa rin po ng diin sa palatuntunan to, kasama po rin natin regularly on a usual note si Dr. Renato Paragas at si Ma'am Vernie Velasquez. Ano po. Pero syempre sa mga kababayan po natin, kung may mga katanungan pa rin, you can log on to our website sa www.ioniquecmdph.com at www.ioniqueph.net. Pwede rin po tayong maging mag-friends via Facebook account sa Tubig at mga Mineral sa CMD, okay na Doc Naga. Ayan. At syempre po, pwede po kayong mag-text during the course of our interview ngayong pong hapon. Pwede po kayong mag-text kung may mga katanungan kayo. At bibigyan po natin daan sa mga sumusunod na cell numbers sa 0999-788-7512. Pwede rin po sa 0927-794-5778 at sa 0999-506 na may 4 na 1. Dito po ay bibigyan po daan natin muna ilan natin mga special announcements bago po yung ating iba pang pag-uusapan. Remember po, meron tayong mga special announcement. Tandaan po ito that by Wednesday, every Wednesday po meron tayong free health seminars. Alas 9 po yan ng umaga at alauna ng hapon. So, yun po yung ating ibibigay sa ating pong mga kababayan. At every Wednesday po yan mula po sa susunod na linggo. Okay? So, syempre patuloy pa rin po yung ating libreng blood pressure monitoring. Punta lang po kayo sa ating tanggapan dyan sa second floor ng Prieto Building. At bibigyan po namin kayo ng pwede kayong free BP po dyan. Sabihin nyo lang na mag-avail kayo ng additional services na yon na ibinibigay natin. Ang ating office hours is 8 o'clock in the morning hanggang alas 5:30 po ng hapon. So, yan po ating mga special announcements. So, sa ating mga kababayan, na-announce na po natin na mula po by next week. So, meron po tayong free health seminar, but then wala po tayong check-up for the meantime hanggang until further notice. Ang ating check-up with Dr. Renato Paragas. So, pwede pong baka by June na. And maliban pa doon, yung mga on follow-up check-up for Mondays, wala po muna tayong follow-up check-up on Mondays. Yan po ay mangyayari na sa susunod na mga linggo na i-announce po natin kung kailan. So, lahat po, meron pa rin tayong free seminar na ibibigay sa ating mga pasyente. Yung lahat po ng a-attend ng free seminar natin ay pwede na po sila automatically, pag dumating si Dr. Paragas, pwede na po silang ma-check up. Okay? So, sana po we will be clear on that. Okay? Mamaya po sa ating pagbabalik, bibigyan daan po natin ang ating mga testimonials na talaga namang mamaya makikita nyo po at makakausap po natin ang ating guest for today at siya po ang magbibigay ng paliwanag at ano ba yung naging experiences niya sa pagsunod sa concept na tubig at mga mineral. At sa mga oras na to, dito po tayo sa ating mga testimonials. Ano po, ang patuloy na pakikipag-usap natin sa ating pong mga kababayan, sa ating pong mga pasyente ng Ver1 Rev Enterprise na naramdaman at sinunod yung ating pong concept tubig at mga mineral at nakita nila yung epekto sa kanila pong sarili. So for now, ang ating pong bisita ay hindi po siya Pilipino, kaya medyo yung binaong ko pong 10 sakong English ay baka po magamit ko ngayon. At he is a retired military at the age of 17. He's already in the military and contract security officer at the Middle East for 10 years. Ganon din. And he is in Bicol region for almost 3 years now. Am I right on that? Okay. And married to a Filipina and galing po siya sa California. Born in 1963, 50 years old. Our good friend, a good friend of Dr. Paragas, Mr. Darren Duke. Sir, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Nice to be
Okay, maybe you can come closer to your microphone. Okay. So, good afternoon. So, is there anything that I have not mentioned about your profile? Can you add on that more? Say something more about yourself?
Like you said, I did 20 years in the military, police department, did over 10 years as a security contractor in the Middle East.
Yeah, be closer to your microphone. They can't hear you. Okay, it's here.
How about
Where
that?
is that?
Better?
Okay, that's it.
Okay.
It's my fault.
No
I
problems.
wasn't able to push it here. So again, about yourself, please.
Oh, I did 20 years in the military, police department, and I did 10 years as a contract security specialist in the Middle East during the wars, etc. And I live here now in Bicol region.
So it's good that you chose Naga City to be your place of a retirement place with your family, of course. You're
Yes.
married to a Filipina.
That's correct, Bicolana.
Bicolana. Okay, so good afternoon kay Madam. She's watching right now?
I have no idea.
Okay, I hope she will.
I hope so too.
Anyway, so how did you know? You are a diabetes patient for how many
For over
years?
7 years now. Diagnosed
Diagnosed to have
over 7 years now. Had it. I probably had it before that due to my health conditions and the way I felt. And then I finally went in and sought help and was diagnosed on the spot that I had diabetes.
So at first, how did you know that? How did you know that you have this disease?
Well, the basic symptoms: being tired all the time, urinating constantly, especially during the night. You cannot really sleep. Seems like every hour or so you get up and urinate, and just basically feeling very bad.
And what are the laboratory and other tests that you have undergone confirming this diagnosis?
Well, what they do is they send you in. They do what they call an A1C test on your blood chemistry, and mine was extremely high. I was anywhere between 13 and 16, which is astronomical. You know, I'm surprised I'm still here.
Okay.
But since I've been taking the product, I've dropped my blood levels down to 3 to 5. So, and during the day when I eat, maximum of 7.5. That's a tremendous change from what I had before, and the way I feel is just awesome.
So, prior to this, prior to the regimen, concept tubig at mga mineral, and of course you're using the synthetic medicines, you're using the chemical ones as they call it. But what are the medications, dosages, and how many medicines are you taking for the past 7 years before you're using Ionique CMD?
I was taking Janumet, which is two in one. I was taking 500 milligrams twice a day, and I was also taking metformin at lunchtime. So basically, I was just maxing out on the chemical aspect of it.
How many
And
medicines is that? If you were going to count it by the fingers?
It was actually 2 medicines, but 3 times a day
And you're taking that for 7 years?
for 7 years. I started out as a smaller dose, but it just kept growing. it didn't get any better. It just kept going up and up and up. And I was taking medicines, and they said the next step would be actually insulin. And I really don't want to take insulin. So I've tried all kinds of natural homeopathic type things, and they seem to work for a week or 2 weeks. It drops down, and I get happy, and then it just went away. And so you know, as a diabetic, it's just not fun. Everybody else has fun around you, eating and socializing, etc., and you just feel terrible, you know. And it also has all the different side effects in your body, you know.
Can you give me samples of the side effects that you got into using this synthetic?
Yeah, the side effects is actually, to me, on my case, was that sleepiness, nausea, and just basically is that regimen. It always taking the medicines, and it's, you know, sometimes you forget. You've got a busy, as everybody knows.
Don't you ever get tired drinking all these medicines all throughout the day? For 7 years doing the
I got tired, and I can imagine, you know, myself doing it, but I can imagine other people who also take insulin and have to keep it refrigerated, have to take all that stuff, and it's not pleasant. So, you know, I was looking for alternatives in my life of how to make my life and the quality of my life better.
So how did you came to know Ionique CMD, and how many times are you taking, the frequency, the numbers given to you by Dr. Paragas?
Well, I first met Dr. Paragas at the Be Call Travel and Food Festival last September. And was curious about what it was all about. So I sat down and had a nice discussion with him, and he told me to come to the seminar. So I came to the seminar and got my health checkup, and then we sat down and discussed my issues with diabetes. And he actually took the time to explain what diabetes is and how it works in the body. A lot of doctors, you know, they would give you the basic rundown, and they spend 2 to 5 minutes with you. They want you out so the next patient comes in.
But with Dr. Paragas, what happened?
He sat down and took his time with me and explained exactly, this is what's causing it, this is how it works in your cells, et cetera, et cetera. And that was one of the points that I was extremely happy with, was that he took the time to literally educate me on why and how it works.
So during those times, how did you feel, and what are the experiences using the concept?
Using the concept, at first it was kind of rough, because you have to cut out a lot. He put me on a strict diet, and taking so many drops per day according to my weight. And we started on this regimen, and it started out with the first detoxifying my body, and in the first few days I kind of felt nauseous, kind of a headache, and, you know, not to be rude, but I was having a lot of diarrhea, because he told me this was going to happen because it's going to get all the toxins out of my body. And after 2 or 3 days there, I started picking up and feeling better. So you know, anybody that's curious about, you know, the side effects, it was nothing major. You've been through worse than catching the flu, you know.
It's even worse than flu.
And no, it was not worse than flu. I said having the flu is worse than this.
I stand corrected.
Yeah, everybody's had the flu and the colds and been sick, so it's not that bad. You know, and I'm just speaking on the symptoms I got, and after a couple of days, I started picking up. My appetite came back, but the biggest thing I have to say is that the diet was really strict. I had to cut out all my carbohydrates.
Most of our patients are complaining so much about the diet.
But let me tell you, do what the doctor says. Don't cheat. Actually follow it. I did. It's very difficult, especially for a Westerner here, because we have different dietary taste. Okay, so what I did is I went to the store and I found salads, all kinds of different vegetables, fruits that was on the list that he gave me that I could eat, and I started doing that. Meats. You know, it was no problem.
More in the meat diet.
meat. I used only salt and pepper and calamansi for the spices. Even on my salad, I put calamansi, salt and pepper, and I stayed away from anything that was processed foods, breads, cereals, rice.
You shy away from those.
I shied away. Well, doctor didn't give me a choice. He said, "This is if you want to make yourself better, you got to do this."
But Daniel, I was told by Dr. Paragas that at first you did not entirely follow the diet for around a month before you really followed through
Yeah,
the next month. The first month you really did not consistently follow the diet given to you by Dr. Paragas. Why is that so? Is that very hard to follow?
It is very hard to follow. Your body craves the carbohydrates and all those things. So if you're busy schedule, it's very hard to find healthy food. So either you have to make it yourself and take it with you, because if you go to restaurants, etc., it's because they use all the sauces and soy sauces and processed foods and meats, and so you want everything fresh and clean. Yeah, and it's very difficult. I know. So what I did is I started packing. Well, I didn't. My wife, thank God, she kept me happy by buying fruits, vegetables, nuts, peanuts, walnuts, those kind of things, because you get the cravings during the day. You want a snack, so keep it healthy. I ate a lot of fruits. There were certain fruits like bananas and mangoes. Doctor said please stay away from. You can't have corn. You can't have rice, and I know that's very hard for Filipinos.
So
no rice.
during the first month, you were not able to follow the diet at all. Then on the second month, you decided to follow the 100%, doing the diet. Then what made you decide to, okay, let's do it. I'm going to follow the diet 100%. What made you decide doing that?
You come to realize that, hey, if I'm going to do this, let's do it right.
Yeah.
You know, not just halfway do something. So I said, okay, I want to feel better. I want to be better. So I went wholeheartedly into it, and I have to say I do feel better, and I feel better.
So at the end, you have how many? What was the result?
Oh, my last result was 3.5 after fasting all night, and before I was looking anywhere between 8 to 10.
So really, that's
diabetic.
Anyway, so going back to the concept, it's very common that after being introduced with the concept Tubig at mga mineral, people just ignore the concept. How are you going to comment on this? At this point that you really have experienced the difference using the concept?
Well, the thing about the concept is you have to follow it. You can't cheat like I did the first month. You know, if you got to do it wholeheartedly, and do it for the right reasons. The right reasons are you want to better yourself and you want to be healed. You don't want to be a sick person your whole life.
What made you interested to do this?
Well, first off, is talking with the doctor at the avenues there. We started talking about what it is, where it comes from, is it natural, and my concerns were does it contradict with any of the medicines I take, etc. And he explained that it comes from Utah, USA. And I've actually been there. It's a beautiful place. It sits in a valley, and in the center there's this big lake, but it's all salty.
Okay.
It's a beautiful place, and you think, oh my gosh, look at this, it's beautiful. And I can imagine the pioneers going from the east to the west during the gold rush days. They came across Salt Lake City and said, well, we're going to build a city here. It'll be a good stopping point before we travel over the mountains to California. Well, they come to find out that whole place is nothing but minerals, and it's salty. So they found another water source, of course.
Don't you realize it's quite amazing? You're from the U.S. and yet you learned something, a product from the U.S. in the Philippines.
Yeah, actually, it was real surprising.
What an irony.
It is irony.
Okay. So, going back in our seminar, our health seminar, we encourage the use of the natural essential nutrients and also discourage the use of synthetic medicines and, of course, the chemical ones. What fears do you have when you were told by Dr. Paragas to stop using your medicines as part of the regimen?
Well, I was apprehensive at first because, of course, I've been using the medicines, and I was thinking, well, if I stop taking my medicines, then my blood sugar is going to skyrocket, and then I'm going to feel terrible. Why do I want to feel worse?
Okay.
And so like I said, the first month I was apprehensive about it. The second month I actually followed his advice, and the first couple of days, like I said, it kind of had headaches and stuff, and then it just went away, and I gradually watched the blood sugar come down from peaking down to normal levels. And
Were you not afraid that you felt those headaches and the other stuff like diarrhea? Were you not afraid to decide to stop the regimen?
No, I wasn't afraid. Doctor said everybody has some kind of side effect, but it's nothing that's going to hurt you. Or if you have any questions and concerns, please text or come to the office. So so I did I followed his directions, and everything worked out wonderful.
Okay. So, mga kaibigan, mamaya po magbabalik tayo. No? So, balikan natin si Sir Duke. I'm fond of calling him Duke, pero his name is Darren. Well, magbabalik po tayo sa pag-usap natin kay Sir Darren sa patuloy niya pong pagkukwento sa atin. Hopefully, nakaka-follow po tayo. At mamaya, pag-uusapan po natin, ano po ba yung mga experiences na kanya pong dinaanan sa nakalipas na halos 7 buwan na patuloy po siyang gumagamit ng Ionique Concentrated Minerals, and that amazing second month na nalampasan niya po yung kanyang diabetes na for the past 7 years ay halos naging bahagi na ng kanyang buhay. Si Sir Darren sa kanya pong patuloy na pagpapaliwanag kung ano po ba yung kanyang mga naranasan, ano yung mga dinaanan niya para po makuha talaga, masunod yung ating pong concept, tubig at mga mineral. Siyempre, sabi nga po natin dito sa ating pong concept, lagi natin sinasabi sa mga health seminars natin na ang pasyente namin ay tutulungan lang namin na gumaling yung kanilang karamdaman, sila po yung gagawa nun. And this is something na pinag-uusapan namin kanina ni Darrell, that it's very important to follow the diet, especially when you are diabetic person. We have several patients, diabetics like you, that they really are very concerned, especially eating rice, because we Filipinos, we love rice. It's really our diet. And the moment we ask them to stop eating rice, they say, "What am I going to eat?" Is that a concern also with you and the other diet that we ask the person or the patient not to eat?
To be honest with you, it was a concern. However, if you really think about it, giving up something for a better health, you're not really. There's other things to replace it with. I mean, if you have to have a rice, after talking to the doctor or whatever, people brown rice. Brown rice is better than white rice. White rice spikes your blood sugar right away. As soon as you eat it, in a few minutes, it starts rising your blood sugar, and it spikes, and that's what makes you feel bad. So brown rice, if you had to eat anything like that. But like I said, I'm going to stress this, I can't stress it enough, is follow what the doctor said. Once I did that, all my blood sugar dropped tremendously. When I was just cheating a little bit, taking the brown rice as a substitute to the white rice, I was taking, instead of pasta, I was eating the whole wheat pasta, and my blood sugar was still high. I quit that, and I followed what the doctor said on the diet, and I'm sure everybody's going to have a different diet plan, so please go to the seminar and talk to the doctor directly. And then when he put me on the CMD drops, I took that every day, consistently, like the regiment said, and I ate whole foods, fresh vegetables, fresh meat, fresh fruits, nuts, those kind of things, and it was all organic. Nothing from that came out of processing. No canned tomatoes, no canned corn, no canned peas. None of these things that are processed. I know Filipinos love Spam. I do too. Spam in the morning. I can make a Spam burger in a minute and make me happy. But it's processed. It's got lots of additives and all that. So we went to fresh fish, fresh chicken, meat sources. For people that like pork, they can eat pork. Beef, if you like beef. But like I said, you stay away from sauces. Any kind of marinades, those things. Salt and pepper and if you want something, put some calamansi on there. Use some chili peppers. Chop it up, mix it in, and marinate it.
So what did you do? You had you will only have to have a variety of food, right? You have to be very imaginative in using the diet available.
It's not as hard as you think. You can have butter. So what I would do is like zucchini. I would saute a onion in the butter, chop up a zucchini, throw it in there, mix in a little salt and pepper, mix it up, let it get nice, and then I could bake a piece of chicken. Okay, and then so I have a chicken, got my vegetable, and I'm good to go.
How about the family? Are they not afraid of you going back to the stage of being diabetic because of these things?
Of course, no. My family wants me to be healthy and stay around for a while, because there's a lot of side effects from diabetes.
So, are they supportive of your diet?
They're very supportive of me. My wife goes out of her way to take care of my dietary needs. She's busy with her business, etc. And so taking time to make my stuff, it takes a little bit out of her day, but she does it with an open heart. So
I hope Ma'am Linda is watching right now, and that's how grateful Daryl is. Now, people often react negatively when informed that they should drink only water and stop from, as you said, eating instant food, food with preservatives, and other beverages beside water. And they are really frantic about thinking, what more are we going to eat and what more are we going to drink? So what can you comment on this?
Well, yeah, it's really simple. The way to get around drinking just a taste of water day after day after day is what I did is one day I would drink nothing but the water and the CMD drops. The next day I would water the CMD drops, but I would cut up some calamansi, squeeze it in the bottle, throw it in the bottle, and then so when I refilled it, I just shake it up so it puts a flavor into the bottle. Then the next day, an orange.
But was it difficult to follow the reminders about not taking this kind of stuff?
No, actually, it wasn't for me because I'm not a big soda drinker. Yeah, now I know it is if my brother was here and on that, he would go nuts. He loves his Coca-Cola and soft drinks, etc. But for me, I was never really a soft drink drinker. So
how about coffee?
Coffee. Now I was addicted to coffee. I'll be honest. That was hard.
Was it hard to remove coffee in your regimen? In your diet?
It was for the first couple of days, coffee and tea, because you got the caffeine. But like I said, it's a mindset. If you want a healthy body, you got to sacrifice. Nothing comes easy in this world, So if you want something, you got to strive for it.
That's very good. That's a very good word of wisdom from you. Actually, after personally experiencing the effects of the concept, and then about your health, and what are your comments after learning that Dr. Paragas is doing this medical paradigm, which is already done 100 years ago, and he's just trying to reintroduce it to the people?
Well, I'm glad he is because God put water on this earth for us to drink. Our bodies are over 70% water, and it needs to be replenished. Because today's society, we don't drink like they did in the old days. What did they have? They had milk from cows and goats and sheep, and they had water. And now with technology, we got all these soda drinks and fruit drinks, etc. And it's not good. It's not really good for us. It's got chemicals. It's got lots of sugars, and sugar's been proven to harm our innards. So I'm glad that he's reintroducing something that's been around forever. It's just he's starting out re-educating the populace on this issue.
Okay, so you have now experienced the benefits of water and minerals. And what can you say about this? They say dietary or food supplements have no approved therapeutic claim or effects. Any comment?
Yes, I do have a comment on that.
Okay.
That non-therapeutic process there.
Yeah, the
what
word
they're-
is that they keep on saying
Yeah, non-therapeutic
food supplements
value.
have no approved therapeutic claims.
What it is,
Can you comment
what
on
it is, the FDA in America, they regulate dietary or natural substances are not evaluated by the FDA. It is because it is a food.
that? Okay.
Okay, so it's processed and labeled as something different. So that's what the term means when they say that it's non-therapeutic value. That doesn't mean it's not good for you. It's just stating that it's categorized into another category, saying this falls under foods, where drugs fall under drugs.
Okay.
So people get it misunderstanding. Well, if there's no therapeutic value, they're thinking, well, why am I going to take this if it's not good for me? It's just wording.
Maybe, if I may suggest, for me, it's just a word. For as long as you can feel the effects on your body, then go ahead with it. Why not? Anyway, so do you believe that really synthetic chemicals or drugs can really cure diseases? Can you elaborate on this?
This is my opinion.
Yeah.
A lot of people might not agree.
You've been taking medicine for 7 years.
Yeah, like I said.
And maybe several years ago for some discomforts.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think it doesn't fight the disease. It just fights the symptoms of the disease. It keeps things in check, but it doesn't really work on the disease itself. And so that's why I was looking for a natural way to control my diabetes instead of taking synthetics, which we all know is man-made, is processed, and it's been proven that it's not good for your kidneys and liver and over time. So basically, even though synthetics are, you're taking it to treat the symptom, you're killing yourself still through chemicals. And that's the way I see it. So
And to add on that, medical professionals nowadays they just do believe that it's only the chemicals who can cure. Any reaction on this?
in my opinion, I think the medical profession has gotten away from where God and natural ways of healing. I mean, look at Chinese medicine. Chinese medicine's been around forever. Acupuncture, acupressure, and things like this. And just now, the modern medicine is now trying to accept that back into norm. Mm-hmm. For a long time there,
but they call it alternative medicine.
They do call it alternative medicine, but for a long time, there was only the medical way. We're going to give you medicines. We're going to give you injections. We're going to do. They didn't want to hear that there was other alternatives that worked. Mm-hmm. You know, but like I said, acupuncture's been around for how many thousands of years? It's still here, and it still does wonders. So you can't just disband something because you don't agree with it. There's got to be science into it, and now science comes back around the big circle and saying, "Wow, this stuff actually does work."
So they are swallowing their words
Well,
a bit.
No, don't get me wrong. Doctors are wonderful.
Yeah.
Doctors are needed.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, I'm
We
just
respect the
saying
profession.
now that they're starting to come to the realizing that the old school way of this is the way it has to be. It's all medicines. Now they're saying, wait a minute. There's psychological needs. There's also physical needs, dietary needs. All these things are starting to come into play, and our doctors nowadays are much wiser about their treatment. And I think the new doctors are starting to take this all in conjunction and are starting to treat the people the way people are supposed to be treated.
At least they are now recognizing the possibilities of using the old strategies used by the ancient doctors, of course. Now, mamaya po mga kaibigan, babalikan po natin si Darrell para bigyan daan pa yung ilang pang mga katanungan at ilang pang maishishare niya sa atin, sa ating pong patuloy na pagkikipag-usap sa kanya at pagkikipagkwentuhan tungkol sa kanya pong mga naging karanasan. Gamit po ang concept tubig at mga mineral, sagot sa kalusugan, ang ating pong I say he's already a citizen, a resident of Naga City for the past 3 years, pero siya po ay galing sa California. Well, Darrell, when I always talk to our patients who are diabetics, they always told us that they really are losing weight. Have you experienced that on your case?
Oh yes, I after the first month I started losing weight, and I dropped down from 90 kilos to 76 kilos.
Now you're 76. So you lose around how many weight? 13 kilos?
13 kilos.
And that's quite big. Were you happy losing weight or not?
Yes, because that's one of the that's one of the problems with diabetes. Eating all the sugar and stuff is gain weight. So if you take the CMD drops like you're supposed to, you eat the proper diet, and you exercise, those three things, you will see a big difference in your lifestyle and the way you feel.
How about the weight? Some of them are telling me when you are doing the diet, you're losing weight very gradual. Is that and that you are not actually feeling it that you're losing weight? Is that also happen to you?
Actually, mine was actually kind of drastic. The first few days, I lost 5 kilos. And then the next couple weeks, I lost another 6 kilos. So mine was quite extreme compared to other people's. But I was extremely happy. Only problem is you got to go buy a new wardrobe because nothing fits.
So by now you already changed your wardrobes.
Some of it.
Some of it,
Yes,
okay. So, how are you after the second month? You had your good or normal blood sugar. How are you from the second month? Now it's on the 7th.
On the 7th month now, I'm still maintaining, and I feel wonderful. I got so much energy, and I'm so happy with the way I feel that I just cannot stress enough that go to the seminar, try this, and I'm sure and I'm positive that you will like the benefits if you follow what the doctor tells you to do.
We're telling our patients that, especially when they are diabetics or cancer patients, that the diet will be returned to your normal once you became normal on your body structure or the blood sugar. And how about you? Were you able to return to your normal diet already?
Well, yes.
Were you allowed by Dr. Paragas already to do that?
A little bit.
Yeah.
He's gradually working with me, giving me a little bit at a time, and I'm sure it's going to return wholeheartedly eventually. But like I said, gradually, your blood sugar goes up a little bit, but he's keeping it within parameters that it's not hurting me. So, and like I said, now that I've got on that diet the way it was, I like it.
You're already used to the diet.
I like all the fresh fruits and vegetables and the meat.
Okay. So sa ating pong mga kababayan, ipaliwanag ko lang po sa diabetic diet po kasi sa regimen ng tubig at mga mineral, sa diabetic diet, ipinagbabawal po natin for the meantime na diabetic yung isang tao ng mga pagkain tulad po ng kanin, yung lahat po ng carbohydrates, lahat ng mga sources ng simple sugar like the carbohydrates, flour products, lahat po ng prutas na pag siya po ay nilaw, ay pag nahinog siya po ay dilaw, the yellowish ripe fruits, bawal po yun. Ang lahat po ng root crops, kasama po yung patatas, yung carrots, yung singkamas, labanos, ibinabawal po natin yan for the meantime that the patient is still diabetic. Bawal din po yung lahat ng mga may mga sauce, yung gravy, ketchup, hot and spicy sauces. Lahat po yan ipinagbabawal po natin. Pero yung pong pwede ay lahat pwede talaga all throughout. Pwede pong kumain lahat ng klase ng gulay, lahat ng tops, talbos, yung talbos ng kamote, ampalaya and everything. And lahat ng vegetables na fruits like yung lahat ng ampalaya, okra, talong, and the likes, mga patola, ganyan. Pwede po yan. At lahat ng meat na fresh, yung bagong katay. And of course, yung mga prutas na tropical at presko din. So, yun po yung ating ibinibigay na diet. But remember, gaya po na sinasabi ko kay Darren kanina, yung mga pagkaing ipinagbabawal po natin, for the meantime lang that your blood sugar is not on the normal level. Pero pag nag-normalize na po yun, in due time, Dr. Paragas will be giving you yung posibilidad na umpisahan mo na uli, bumalik ka dun sa normal diet, and that yun po yung pinag-uusapan natin na si Darrell when was Dr. Paragas told you that you can return little by little to the normal diet, Darrell?
January.
So that was on the 3rd month, or that was on the 4th?
On the fourth month.
Okay.
Month, yes.
So it was not that easy, or that abrupt that Dr. Paragas told you you can go back to your diet. It was not that easy or that abrupt.
No, it wasn't. It was gradual. Everything was done gradually, and like I said.
But was it okay with you that you were not allowed that easy to return to your normal diet, although your FBS or your blood sugar is already on the normal level?
It was okay because like I said, I want to heal myself of diabetes. That's the whole purpose of taking the CMD drops, is so I get better and I don't have to take medicines.
So it's fine with you.
It's fine with me.
Okay. So after your personal experience on relying on synthetic drugs for prolonged duration and a short period of time, using the natural essential elements, emphasize especially on water and minerals, what advice can you give to our listeners and viewers now after you have compared on these two ways on treating your disease?
I think everybody should go natural, as long as the doctor says it's okay. God made all these things for us to eat. We know what to eat correctly, but our society, including myself, we pick wrong choices. Everything's quick and easy and fast. The lifestyle today, everything's go, 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 go. It's not like before where the mother sat down and they made a reasonable and healthy diet for us. Because the children got sports, the children got music, and the husband and wife working, so everybody's running around like crazy people, and we don't do the way God intended, and be healthy about it. And I think once you get into that lifestyle again of eating things, take time, a lot less stress, a lot less high blood pressure, and you just feel better, and it's good for the children. If you teach them young, they won't have diabetes. They won't have these problems that we got today due to society and the way we eat.
Upon learning with this concept, with your family, not only are there changes? Have you adopted, or your family also adopted the ways of drinking water, taking Ionique CMD? Were there changes also?
Yes, my family, they a lot of times I cook. I'm into the cooking, so I make the healthy things, the chicken, this, that, and they eat the same thing I do. So
there were changes already.
There was changes in that was their way of supporting me.
Okay. So you told me that you're willing to share the Ionique CMD concept and the Tubig at mga mineral concept. And how about your father? Your father is also diabetic?
Yes, my wife takes it, and she takes the normal minimum requirement, and she seems to be very happy with it.
Are you willing to share the concept with the others also?
With the children are a little bit different. That's a different generation, as you know. Well, hopefully, by setting a good example for them, and they will start benefiting from it also.
You're going back to the U.S. and you're going to bring Ionique CMD with you?
Yes, I'm going to bring to my father. My father's elderly now and having some problems. So hopefully he will take it. He's very interested about it. I'll sit down and explain it to him. Bring some drops with me, and while I visit with him and try to get him on it on a regular dietary regimen.
He's also sick.
He has diabetes. And he's had some surgical problems, heart, etc. So hopefully this will help him out tremendously. I'd like to keep him around a little bit longer.
Okay, so you'll be staying with him for a while. So I hope he will be encouraged also, just like you. What about the seminars? You have attended the seminars. Some people are just not so happy doing the seminar with us before the checkup. They would like to do it like the conventional or the doctors were in. After you came into their clinic, then there's the checkup. There's the checkup. With us, you have to undergo to the seminar. What can you say about the seminar? You once attended with me. Yes. So what can you say about the seminar? Have you learned something about it? And is it good, or any comment on that?
Well, the seminar is very educational. If you take the time and sit down and listen, don't be in a hurry. Mm-hmm. If you're in a hurry and want in and out and get a free checkup and run, then you need to sit down. You need to listen. You need to learn. You need the education. And if you listen to the seminar and get educated, ask questions, because there's no such thing as a stupid question. Don't be embarrassed. Ask it.
Of course. Mm-mm.
Ask questions. That's how you learn. Mm-hmm. And then see the doctor and discuss whatever problems you have and see what he has to say. Don't be in a hurry. Mm-hmm. Life is too short for us to run around like crazy people and worry about things. Sit down, learn.
Mm-hmm. What particular part of the seminar that you really appreciate, if there is?
The part, like I said, for me was about the diabetes.
Mm-hmm. Of course, because it's your disease.
Mm-hmm. You know, especially in my old career. There's a lot of tension. Okay, so I learned about that, especially where they came from, how it works in your body, diabetes. How does it work?
Okay. When it was discussed to you by Dr. Paragas, the way diabetes is developed in our body, were you amazed? I myself, when it was first discussed to me with Dr. Paragas, I was really amazed that, is it diabetes really? So do you have that reaction also?
Actually, I was amazed. He was the first doctor that sat down and actually went through it on a whiteboard from how it's processed into your cells, and it bypasses here if you're diabetes. And it was absolutely amazing. We don't even have enough time to sit down and go through that. Mm-hmm. But if you got diabetes, have him explain it to you. It's absolutely amazing. And now I have that education, the knowledge of what causes it, and I'm like, why didn't any doctors explain this to me before? Besides, you got diabetes, and it's caused by your pancreas not making enough insulin, mm-hmm. and here's the medicine. That's the end of the conversation.
But with Dr. Paragas,
doctor sat down and we spent 30 minutes, 45 minutes in there, and he took step by step all the way through how it's processed and how it affects the body and other ailments that come in contact with diabetes. Diabetes causes other ailments such as kidney failure, mm-hmm. okay, heart attacks, heart disease, hypertension. All these things are elevated because of the disease of diabetes. So if we can control the diabetes and get it under control, that means that you're less susceptible to get the other things. Mm-hmm. Hello, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out this is good for you.
Okay, so it was the first time that you were able to hear something about your diabetes for the past 7 years that you'd been going to your doctor?
Yes, actually, that is the first time that I've been told exactly what caused it. Besides a basic. This, you got diabetes. This is what caused diabetes. Here's your medicines, and we'll get it under control. We'll see you in 3 months to take another blood test.
Okay, that's all that you heard from your previous doctors.
That's all I heard from any doctor that I went to.
Mm-hmm. So, For the past 7 months, and now that you're going to talk to your father, what are you going to tell him?
Well, I'm gonna sit down and explain to my father how this works, how it affects the body, and also take all my laboratory paperwork with me.
Okay, you're going to show it
show
to
my
him.
father. Here you go. Here, proof's in the pudding. There you go. This is what I was before. This is what I am now. So I'm going to take that and present it to my father with a bottle. So there you go. Start, and we'll see. And we'll see
And hopefully-
how that goes.
Okay. Anyway, mamaya po mga kaibigan, babalikan po natin si Darrell. Meron pa ako natitirang ilang katanungan sa kanya, and I hope hindi pa siya napapagod. And this is what is good with with our good friend here. Talagang pag ang pinag-uusapan po Ionique CMD ay talagang napakarami niya pong mai-share sa atin. Pinag-uusapan namin ni Darrell. Ano po talaga yung sekreto para po magkaroon ng maayos na sagot sa kalusugan yung isang tao na namumroblema po sa kanyang karamdaman. So, yun po siguro yung bibigyan daan natin sa remaining minutes ng ating pong programa. So, Darrell, what advice can you give to our patients to repeat what you have said a while ago? What advice can you give them in doing these things about health and well-being?
Well, the best thing I can tell everybody is, number one, slow down in life. Take things seriously. You want to be around for your children, your grandchildren, these type of things. You got to follow the diet. You have to drink the mineral drops, and you have to exercise. You have to do those in conjunction with each other to make it work. There's no quick cure overnight medicine or pill that you can take to heal yourself. It takes time. It took you time to damage your body. It's going to take time to heal it. So don't be in a hurry and expecting a miracle overnight. It just doesn't work that way. Have patience and belief. Believe in God that this is going to happen, and it will happen. And like I said, the biggest thing I want to stress is come to the seminar, sit down, listen, get educated, ask questions. Everybody there is nice. They're not going to bite you, okay? They will answer your questions and learn. See the doctor. Ask more questions. Make a list before you come of these are my ailments. These are my side effects I'm getting from my medicines. These are the medicines I take. Bring that with you so you can present it to the doctor and you can sit down and have an educated discussion about your ailment. And that way he knows how to treat you instead of just coming in and you tell half a story and say, okay, I got diabetes and this, I only take this, I eat this, etc. He's an educated man. He's been around a long time. He knows when you're fibbing and you're not telling the whole thing. Come in because you want to heal yourself. Mm-hmm. So come in with an open mind, open heart, follow the doctor's orders, and with God's help, you will see results with time.
Okay, so that will be very nice. And it's nice that you said people in our office are nice people.
Yes, you are nice.
Thank you for that. I'll take that as a compliment. So, last question. Please share some wisdom on this quote by Sir William Osler. He said, the father of modern medicine. And so he said, one of the first duties of the physician is to educate the masses not to take medicine. Any reaction on this?
Like I stated early in the program, I think he's on to something. Is that we take too much medicines in our lives. It's easy for us to go to the pharmacy and get all these things instead of following homeopathic type medicines. But there's also a time and a place that you will have to take medicines. So don't take it that we're against medicines. We're not against medicines. And he wasn't against medicines because he was an educated person. He was talking about basic medical needs. We over medicate ourselves. It's easy to medicate. We go to the pharmacy. We say, I got this. They give you this. They give you that. When all you need is basically a good diet, rest, lots of fluids, and like a belief in God that these things are going to happen, and it will happen.
So hopefully you were able to observe that. Anyway, we're very, very grateful, Darrell, that and honored, privileged that you have gave me this time to be my guest this afternoon. And we're hoping that the next time you'll be here, you will be able to share, and that is the way. That's the time you're going to share the experience of your father and people you can share with this concept. So as for now, your closing words, Darrell.
Yes, I'd just like to thank all the personnels at CMD for educating me and getting me on the right path, and continue the good work. And like the doctor you just said, you got to educate the masses. Without education, we're nothing. We're in the dark. So you got to educate ourselves. And thank you for spreading the word out there so we can get educated.
Okay, thank you very much, Darrell, and
Thank you.
hopefully we had a good interview with you, and I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine with my sacks of English here.